Well, the moment of truth has arrived. I spent the morning today taping this thing up. Yeah. You know, I didn't realize how scarce newspaper had become. Shows you how old school I am. I actually had to go hunting for newspaper. I ended up buying 2 of them. They were like $5 for 2 newspapers, which actually equates to like a percentage of my investment in this thing. You know, I'm used to paying 50 cents for a newspaper and they're all over the place. But anyway, bought 2 newspapers. This 3M painter's tape. This stuff works really good. I found that regular masking tape, whenever I've used it, it always likes to get it off. There's always leaves a residue. It makes a mess out of things. This stuff comes off nice and clean, and it forms nicely around the curves. So we did our final sanding on it. I still haven't given it its final clean. We'll get to that. But anyway, we pulled off marker lights and whatnot, but I left the door handles. I left the hood scoops on it. I left all the trim around the windows because it was pointless, and the side view mirror, because when I change in the color of the car, I don't have to worry about, like, you know, it being like, you know, blue underneath. It's all going to be orange, so if there is a little bit of it, it'll be okay. I'm actually nervous about this. It's you know, it's like it's senseless. It's, you know, okay, so you're going to paint the car. Let me tell you something, right? I've done a lot of crazy stuff. I've driven blown fuel altereds, AA fuel altereds, and I wasn't as uptight about getting in that car and doing that thing as I am about pulling a trigger on this. I know it sounds unreasonable, right? But I don't know. Everybody's geared, wired in different ways. So yeah, to me, this is a big deal. So at any rate, covered the grille. I didn't bother with the front valance because it's dented up and it's already been worked. So I'm not touching that. I'm going to replace it. So I didn't bother taping that over or anything. And the same thing with the bumpers. Like, you know, people are like, oh, take the bumpers off the car. Well, behind it is already orange and it's already in decent shape. So all I needed to do is just tape over the bumpers and I'll shoot around it and it'll be fine. Covered the wheels with garbage bags. You know, I guess it's as ready to go as it's going to be. Covered bottle rocket. I'm not worried too much about overspray on stuff in here. It's already covered with dust. It's going to take me a week to clean this anyway, so a little bit of overspray is no big deal. Got the spray gun set up. This is the paint we're using. It's a TPG Global Hemi Orange, and it mixes at an 8-to-1 ratio. So basically it's 8 parts paint, 1 part hardener. And, you know, we use a mixing cup. So mixing cups, you know, this is like an essential part of doing a bodywork thing. Well, you know what? This is trying to decipher what's going on over here. I consulted friends of mine who were like high-ranking masons to ask if they knew what those marks meant. I was going to hit the Ouija board, you know, and figure out. And YouTube tutorials didn't really give me a better idea. It's just made it more confusing. But I did finally eventually figure out a scale here where I get 8. The scale goes from 1 to 8, and then this graduation right here would be 9. It's the same distance. So the plan here is to just fill the paint to the 8, and then the hardener to the top of the scale. And that'll give me the 8-to-1 ratio. So I've got an empty can here. So what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to fill the hopper, right? Fill the hopper, then mix another batch, fill this can, then mix another batch. So I'll be able to just, you know, really quick assembly line, you know, the paint. I've already played around with the gun a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I have this Valiant over here. So I'll do my test shots on that. From what I'm seeing, ideally I'm going to want to have approximately a 6-inch fan at a approximate 6-inch distance from the metal, and I want approximately a 50% overlap as I'm making my making the, you know, laying down the paint. And the plan is I'm going to start with the roof, then I'll do the trunk, then we'll do the hood, and then we'll move down to the sides of the car. And I guess that's about it. The only other thing I really have to do to the car itself now is just give it a good cleaning. I've done some, there's all different ways of cleaning these things from what I understand, but evidently Windex and these blue shop towels works good. And I tested it on a couple of sections of the car beforehand, and it seems to work really nice, and it dries clear. You know, it's designed so it doesn't leave any streaks or anything like that. So I'm going to use this about an hour before I'm ready to shoot the car. I'll probably get here about 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And when I do that, when I get here, I'll give it its final cleaning. I don't want to do it now because overnight it's going to sit and whatever dust is in the air or settle down is going to end up on the car. So cleaning it will be the last thing I do before I spray it. So here we go, the moment of truth. I got here early this morning. I cleaned the car down. It dried. Everything was like groovy. And now I'm at this stage. And like I'm about 1,000 miles outside my comfort zone. So yeah, it was like, I was doing great, right? Up until we got to this point. And it's just like I start fumbling and like I feel like a total Joe Amateur, which I happen to be. But you know what? This is actually important because like how I feel right now is probably how most of you guys feel like when we're talking about carburetors or distributors or cams or anything like that. And it's like, you know, I've never done this before, or, you know, I've only done this a little bit, and, you know, you start to get like intimidated by it. Well, okay, I can relate to this right now. And I think in the future, I'm going to try to remember exactly how I feel right now and try to like carry that into the videos, you know. Learning experience. Everything is a learning experience. You know, that's what life's all about. Why am I so like uptight about this? I don't know. It's not a matter of like being judged. You know, I don't really care. It's like it's you know, it's personal challenge. You know what I mean? Have I done the job right? This is like the moment of truth. So all right. So anyway, paint's all pretty. Got it all stirred up. I got my stir sticks. Got some reducer just in case. Got my funnels. I found an extra can, so we're gonna be able to do pretty much the whole gallon ready to go. So all we're gonna have to do is just put it in a spray. So I'm gonna mix this up now, stick it in the gun, and we got this Valiant sitting over here. So what I'll do is I'll test the flow and the fan and everything on that, and if everything is good, we'll move over to the car and get started. Wish me luck. Actually, I over poured that. Okay. What do you do with this? I guess we just make some paint stains on the ground. I don't really care. All right. I'm sure there's neat ways to do this. I'm just not fluid in them. Alright, so there's can 1. Just a lid on that. Put this out of the way. Maybe it's not too late to run it over to Mako. lid. Okay. All right, so this one I'm going to pour right into the gun. And then I'm going to do one more. This way, with any luck, I don't have to pause. I forgot the funnel again. All right. See what I'm saying? When you don't do something every day, it's like, but it should be okay. I haven't seen any lumps or chunks. It's brand new. Stir this one up. All right, and let's see. Let's put the lid back on this. Let's throw funnel over the top of this so nothing flies in there. Drop the lid on this. And we're about the moment of truth. Keep saying that. Alright, so I've got it set. Set the pressure before. It's at 40 psi. I've got the okay, so this is how you set the fan, right? You know, how much it comes out. And this is how you set the amount of paint that comes out. By opening and closing this. And then this is the fine air pressure adjustment. So let's just, I think I got it where it's got to be. Let's see what we get on this. All right, it looks like we need more paint. So I'm going to open this up. Open this one right here. Let's go about a half a turn and see what it looks like. That looks like it's going to be very orange peely. Oh no, it's all right. Okay, I was too far away. That looks about right. All right, I'm going to take this over to the roof and see what we got. I'm going back over where I see dark spots. I don't know if I'm supposed to wait and give it a second coat or hit it now wherever I see the dark. But this looks really good so far. And I'm trying to maintain like a 50% cover or overlap. How much paint do I have? Oh wow, I got a lot of paint left. Something tells me I'm not putting enough paint on this thing. We'll find out. I think I'm moving too fast. I think I got to slow it down just a little bit. There's a bunch of body guys like looking at this. What's this special ed guy doing right now? Hair. All right. Ooh, oh shit, I dragged the hose through the paint over here. All right, so we're gonna be doing some sanding on that piece. Okay, amateur mistakes. I mean, hopefully it'll settle out a little bit, but I know I'm definitely gonna have to sand it. Okay, let me go on the other side. See, that's what I mean about amateur mistakes, you know? Like somebody who does this all the time knows to keep the hose out of the paint. I mean, common sense says keep the hose out of the paint, but it's not like a muscle memory type of thing for somebody who doesn't do this on a regular basis. All right, we got a problem here with water. Oh, that's sweat. That's my sweat. I'm sweating on the car. I emptied the tank on the compressor to make sure that there was no water in it. And I'm seeing water spots. That's because it's coming off my face and hitting the car. All right, so we're gonna have to do some sanding. But damn, that coat is pretty. All right. Get this. You know, I could learn to love this. Oh, I'm serious. This is fun.
Are you painting everything now?
I may have to paint everything.
I think it's a good idea.
But I got one run. Look, there's a run there.
It's okay.
There's a bunch of sweat marks. I don't care. Look, I'm seeing all my little dings that I missed in the hood. Oh, God. That's all right. This is still fun. This is good. Watch out. Watch out. Gotta keep going. I'm in the floor. Wow, 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 wow. One more side to do. Look, there's a ding. think we got enough paint to finish the job too. Wow.
What do you think?
I think I could have done a better job on the bodywork.
Well,
I definitely could have done a better job on the bodywork. Hey, but you know, with any luck, we'll get sideswiped again. I mean, oh, look, see, look, there's light reflecting off of it. Okay, that's a win. As far as I'm concerned, that's a win. Oh, God. This definitely looks like it was done by a special ed class. But that's, I mean, that's good. It's fine. Oh, I gotta get right around that. Right there. So how did we do? I'm gonna say it's a 6 out of 10. Maybe 7 out of 10. After I wet sand it, maybe a 7.2 out of 10. It's not terrible, okay? The flat parts of the fender and the door that were really bad are straight. I'm happy with that. But I did what I usually do, and when I block sanded it, I went too hard. And there are, you can see right now, there are blocking marks in it. I sweated a lot in this thing. Like, again, you see, like, I'm not a body guy. I don't do this on a regular basis, so I'm not aware that there's sweat dripping off my elbow onto the, so we've got sweat marks all over the car, little drip marks. But again, no big deal. We'll wet sand that out. It's not terrible, you know. It's I got, oh, runs. I only got one. There's only one run, which I'm surprised at. I was expecting there to be runs everywhere, but I've only got the one. It's not bad. It's not perfect. It's not bad. It's kind of about what I expected. It's a little bit better than the last one, and I think after it's detailed out, it'll come around. 6 or 7 out of 10. You know, I'll tell you what, I guarantee you this. It'll be the coolest car in the Kroger parking lot. As long as no other nice cars pull in. On to the next phase. See you tomorrow.